maybe there's like I would be the labor of looking.
I did it. I tried to look at it.
How did that work out? When you picked the 10 books, did you get a lot of them back?
Well, last year we said it didn't have to be there. It goes off.
I mean, this is just like math and like, were kids pretty good about bringing books back?
No, after March, no, we have this fun. Normally, I would have been at one, so came back, but when it was the drive-through thing, it said, it got away. It's $500 for the flight.
So we're gonna lose a ton of money. So.
Yes, that's fine. More than anybody can, not today.
Cause I got really good kids. I put out like a remind text that says like, hey, drop them off if you got them. I didn't see one.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some came back when we were doing it, but they were so destroyed. They were the old, you remember the old ones from last year? They were allowed to write it. The old ones.
Right. Well, I mean, at this point, I'll take whatever I can get.
All right, if anything comes.
Yeah, let me know. You can send me an email, I'll come down and get it.
No matter what we did.
Yeah.
You got it.
So, do you know anything about middle school?
Like sports?
Do you think there's a chance they play?
I honestly have no idea.
What about with high school? With everything's just being delayed?
Yeah.
If you're gonna get all the sports, anything?
If fall goes off well and successful, then yes.
Are you ready to call him?
But if fall is a complete and utter disaster, probably not.
What's the crowd? Parents only? What are they doing?
Each player and coach gets 2 tickets to give, and it's a season pass. So, you know, mom, dad, or whoever, and that'll be it. And then, but that's for like the first 2 games. And then if everything goes well, then they'll open up tickets.
And that's the same thing with football, even?
Everything. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but.
I'm assuming they're just gonna cancel middle school because it's not a priority.
I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't heard.
And then I'm wondering, are you guys gonna have a hard time getting refs because those tend to be older people?
Yeah.
Like subs.
Yeah. I have no idea. All right, for everybody that is here, thank you. I am recording because there are some people had asked me to record because they really were interested in watching it. So if you are not comfortable with being recorded, at least your face, I would turn your webcam off. If you're fine with it, you can leave your webcam on. And all we were really having planned for today was the recruiting presentation. So Vivian and Amanda, it's all you guys. And you should be able to present.
Yeah, I'll present. I've never done this. Let me try. Okay. All right. All right. Can you see my screen? No.
Like
I can try too.
When you click present, you have to then, there we go.
Okay, cool. All right, so me and Amanda just kind of wanted to do a little seminar on how recruiting and our experiences and just like tips and stuff. So it's like a lot of information to kind of collect into one presentation. So it's really brief, but we're going to try to cover as much ground as possible. And we think that the tips we included here are applicable to any sport, even though we are volleyball players. So the first kind of step in this is kind of asking yourself, do I really want to play in college, and what does that mean? So what you would do here is make a pros and cons list of playing in college, like talk to people you know who've played in college, know that it's a big commitment for your time and your family. Like, I wish someone had told me how much of like your life it takes up, because you're doing it every day to determine what level you want, what you're capable of, and what it takes to get there, because you really need to consider all this stuff before you start your recruiting journey. And then second would be research. You need to know everything you can know, is finding your school that fits for you, like what kind you want. And then the rules for your sport, which are different for every sport, but yeah. And then so for considering what kind of school you want, these are 5 areas that like you kind of need to consider. So first is academics. What major are you looking for? Like how rigorous do you want it to be? That kind of thing. Sport, what level do you want? Who's best at that level? Coaches, what's your favorite method? Who do you vibe with? Like girls, boys, whatever you want. Team, what's the best chemistry for you? That's honestly what I looked for the most in my process, was like, do I get along with the girls, the recruits, and the people currently on the team? And then the 5th is campus. Do you want an open campus? Do you want a college, very like big Power 5, or do you like want city experience? Kind of like, you really need to figure that out for yourself. And then so I asked a bunch of my teammates on my team, I was like, what are some regrets you have? And they all said, like, I regret not informing myself, because for volleyball, at least, there's a lot of weird rules, and they just came into effect like 2 years ago, and a lot of girls didn't know how to navigate all that. So definitely inform yourself. And then action, I'll let Amanda take this away.
So for action, you have to be sending out emails pretty constantly. Create highlight videos, sports accounts. Sports Recruits is what we use, which is really helpful. But there are some programs that are going to try to be like, just take your money. You just have to do your research on them. No, they're not necessary. You do not need a sports account to do recruiting. Like, you can just do it all yourself. But just do your research if you choose to do that. And then try to get on the phone, contacts, connections with your coaches. Getting on the phone is the best way, because it's the most personal. Like, you're really having a conversation, and you could just let your personality show, and you get to see the personality of the coach and if you get along with them or not. If you can't get in contact with the coach, email them. You just want to be on their radar as much as possible. Like, the amount of times they see your name, they'll remember you more and more. Always email before showcases, before games, and then get your name out there as much as possible, like I said. Advice from teammates. I wish I emailed more. You can never send enough emails. That's true. You just do it as much as you can, as often as possible. Email templates and strategies vary from sport to sport. So reach out to people you know who have been through the process. Me and Vivian are always an option. Even if we don't play your sport, you can always reach out to us and ask us about what we did. Research templates that work for you. They're all on Google. If you just type in email recruiting templates, you can find one and just plug in your information. And then send out your own emails. Your parents aren't the ones going to college, which is really important. Like, the coaches want to hear from you personally. And then this is one of my emails, just an example. Like, I would send these out before tournaments and just plug in my own information. Like, the coach's name, you definitely want to use their name so it makes it personal. Subject, something that catches the attention of a coach. Personalize it to the coach. Where and when, obviously, like, we're playing on this court at this time, or you're playing at this field at this time. And then always put a highlight link on your email, just so they have something to base it off of. Like, make it your most recent too. And then player profile. I don't know if Vivian, you definitely do, but like, I think it's really helpful to have one. Not a lot of people do it, I feel like. And then this is just contact information, your name, and then depending on the rules, you have to put your coaches' names so they can contact your coaches if they're not allowed to contact you. And then this is an example of my player profile. It just has like just an abundance of information all in one spot. So a coach can just skim through that. And if they like your academic awards, your volleyball awards, or whatever sport, your position, they like have something to base it off of, kind of. And again, it's like where to contact you, what you look like in uniform, so they know who they're looking for if they choose to come watch you play. And again, try to make it as short as possible. Keep it on one page.
Yeah, I think the key there is like very straight to the point and simple. They're reading hundreds of things and they don't want to be looking for information.
Yeah, even mine is just a little long because I had my 7th and 8th grade, but that kind of helped when I was freshman year and I just added from there. So just do what you can.
Yeah. All right. And then, so this is something I added. I just thought it was really beneficial because Victoria Garrick is someone I started following. She's a YouTuber. She was a walk-on libero at USC. And her whole channel is great. Like, she talks about mental health and athletes, like the student athlete experience, recruiting tips, all that good stuff. But the point here is that she talked about her journey to becoming a libero at USC because she was not a highly recruited player, and USC was the top program at that time. And she said how she never stopped emailing. She would email, and then she got offered the walk-on spot because that was her dream school. And so that just proves like you can do it. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. And then so I reached out to a bunch of colleges and said, like, what do you wish students knew about recruiting? Because a lot of students don't even know where to start when they recruit. So here we go. So I talked to Louisville and they said that you need to be direct and transparent in your process. Like, if you're calling them, just be like, for real, like, where am I on your list? And like, be transparent with your process too. Like, I am here, whatever. And then, so simple highlight videos. I think this was a really good point because I see a lot of highlight videos that are like really excessive with like the graphics and just like really long clips. And you just really need to shorten it up. Like, again, they go through hundreds of these. They don't have time to be like sifting through, looking for your skills. And then, so control your own process is really important because it's easy to get swept away in college's schedules and not your own. And this is your process. And so keep a notebook. This is a really good point. And it's also really impressive to coaches if you're talking to them. If you bring up like, oh, you just got to write this down real quick, that looks really good. And it's also great for organization. That's something that I found a problem with, is organizing myself and organizing when and what time my calls are, when I need to send emails, all that stuff. So let's see if I can play this. Okay, so this is a part of my highlight video. I just wanted to include this because it shows the quick hit, and then I show a little bit of celebration because I think that's a good thing to include. So quick hit, celebration, and then that's it. No graphics, no nothing. That's all you really need. And then, so according to Michigan, this is what Student ACES is all about, is your sport is more than your sport. They look at everything. They look at your potential, coachability, attitude, competitiveness, teammate interaction, social media footprint. Like, you have to be on your game at all times. And that really starts at practice. Like, you got to be the best teammate you can be, the best person you could be, because that is only going to improve your entire game. Amanda.
So I talked to my coach about it, and she was a head coach at Gardner-Webb University before she became assistant coach at USF. So she did the whole recruiting there also. And she says that you have to do your best to stand out amongst other recruits. So whether that be in the classroom, community service, a bunch of clubs, like whatever it is, you have to do your best to try to stand out. And then stay in consistent contact with, like we said, just keep sending out emails. It doesn't hurt. And then include a short most recent highlight video. So like Vivian said, like simple, they're not going to watch anything more than 2 minutes since they have so many emails to go through. So like include it in every one of your emails, but keep them short and simple.
And according to Ole Miss, I reached out to my assistant. She was like, yes, it's a school, but it's also a life choice. What else can the school offer you outside of your sport? For example, internships, career possibilities, sports career possibilities past college. Like if you want to play pro, if you want to go Olympic, whatever. So that's really important. Like it's like that sounds like a lot of pressure, but it is a big choice, and you got to consider all the factors. And then this is something that I thought was really, really good, is build a relationship with every coach, because you never know what help they can give you in the future. Because, for example, my process was spanned out in 3 years. So a lot of the coaches when I started ended up somewhere different when I ended. And those coaches helped me. Like the coaches from USC, they went to Auburn, and so that was a new opportunity for me. But like you just never know what they're gonna be able to help you with in your life. Like that's just a good life lesson, honestly, is just build a relationship with everyone so you can get ahead.
Yeah. I have a story like that where I was talking to Hofstra for a little bit, and then I moved to Florida, and the Hofstra coach like reached out to my club coach down here and like vouched for me pretty much, which I thought like meant a lot, that they took the time out of their day to do something like that for you. So it is important to build your relationship. You don't know who they know or where they'll end up.
Exactly. And then according to NC State, they said, don't be afraid to contact schools first. Again, that's just goes along with the contact. Be yourselves and let your personality show. That's a big thing, is like they're trying to figure out who you are and if you're going to work well on their team. And if you're just being a robot, they're not going to get a feel for you. And same thing with them. Like most colleges are very easygoing, and they're going to show you who they are right off the bat. They're not going to play games. Like you just need to show who you are pretty much right off the bat. And then according to me, you want to be somewhere where you are number one, or at least like that's like that is true. Like you want to be wanted, because that's just going to give you that advantage when you get to the school and you're playing. Set sensible goals. Like it, of course, like dream big, email your big schools, call your big schools, but know that like a big school isn't the only answer. Like you could go to a smaller school and be extremely happy, and you just need to know, kind of be honest with yourself, like where you are. And then don't get too set on one school. I wish someone told me that, because I got so set on some schools, and then when they told me no, I was like devastated. And you just got to know that the process is brutal and it's going to take you where it does, and you just got to be okay with it. And that goes, again, your schools could change at a moment's notice. And then organize yourself. That was a big thing. Get a notebook, get a calendar, whatever you need. And then the scariest thing for me was just starting the process, just going to email, because you may be thinking, oh, I'm a sophomore, oh, I'm a junior, I have time. Like, no, other girls are emailing and they're going to take that spot. Like, you just got to go for it, and you got to, like, the earlier the better. And it's never too early, but there is such a thing as too late. So.
Okay. And according to Amanda, unfortunately, it's not going to be an easy process. It really is a roller coaster, especially this year with like the coronavirus and stuff, seasons getting canceled. That can happen to anyone. Like just weird stuff like that can happen and, mess up your whole plan. But stay positive as much as possible. Everyone like who goes through recruiting knows that it's a stressful process. So just like try to keep the right mindset as much as possible. And if you really want to play a sport in college, there's a spot for anyone, and whether it be D1, D3, JUCO, like whatever it is. And then don't ever think less of a school or sports program because they aren't D1. My older sister went to a D2 soccer school and she got full ride there. Like it can happen to anyone. You know what I mean? Like, don't think any less of a school because you aren't D1 or they're not offering you full ride. And then academics are still number one. You have to, again, do something that stands out other than the sport you're playing. And everyone's timeline is different, so focus on you. I wish I knew this because I would stress out so hard when girls in my class would commit, so much earlier than I did, and I like freak out, but everyone's process is different. I was the last girl on my club team to commit, and I'm so grateful I didn't commit earlier because I was going to go somewhere where I would have not been happy. So just like focus on yourself, and everyone's timeline is different.
Yeah, that's a really important one, because I think, especially in the beginning, I got caught up on like, oh, I'm going to commit early as a sophomore, and people are going to be like, oh, she committed as a sophomore. Like, at the end of the day, when you're in college and you're either loving it or hating it, it's not going to matter when you committed. Like, you just got to feel in your heart that that's the right school for sure. And final thoughts. this is a big subject, but I thought it was important to include, is your social media footprint. Watch what you post online, watch what you get taken pictures of, and because that stuff doesn't go away, it'll follow you not only into athletics, but into your career. And you just really need to be careful with that, especially growing up in this age. And then keep an open mind. Like, you never know where this is going to take you. Anything could happen. Like, I never thought I was going to go to Ole Miss. I never thought I was. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep an open mind. And I did, and I'm happy. So, and then this goes back to starting now. Never leave that till tomorrow, which you can do today. Like, stop saying I'm going to start tomorrow. Just do it now. Like, get started, get a head start on it, because like, if you don't, you may regret it. That sounds bad, but like, you just get started, just do it. And then, so does anyone have any questions?
And if you ever need to contact us privately, like you don't want to do it in front of everyone, you can text us or call us whenever. We're totally open to it.
Seriously.
I mean, I have something to add if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, my college recruiting process was actually similar to both of you guys. When I was in high school, I was getting recruited pretty heavily to go to Florida, and like, I was all in. That's where I was going. Everything was set. Coaches wanted me, coaches loved me. And then all of a sudden, this scandal happened at Florida and the coaches got fired. So now I wasn't going to Florida because the coaches left. And 2 of the coaches actually went to NC State. And so then I started getting recruited to go to NC State. And I didn't know if I really wanted to go out of state. I wasn't sure. I had no idea where NC State was. But then I went to camp and I stayed on campus and then fell in love with campus itself because I already knew I loved the coaches. And so then I was getting recruited to go to NC State and everything's going great. And then my senior year, I was a pitcher. My senior year, I hurt my shoulder. And the Sun Sentinel decided to post an article about how my season ended due to having shoulder surgery, which was 100% false. However, somebody sent that to NC State, and they immediately told me, hey, thanks, but we're good now. So then I was not getting recruited to NC State anymore because of someone somewhere got into someone's ear and they put something in writing. So then I had absolutely no, I'm already in my senior season. It's spring ball for high school, and I should be done with the recruiting process by now. And then Indian River, someone got a hold of Indian River State College, a junior college. They came to one of my high school games, and he didn't even care if I struck out every time. Like, he already knew that he had wanted me to go to his school. Came to my house, basically told me his story, and then the very next day I committed to Indian River. So like, I've been through pretty much everything. And then for me, when you go to a junior college, the recruiting process starts all over again. So now you only play for 2 years and then you have your other 2. So now I'm trying to prove myself again to coaches, taking videos of myself at the college level and then trying to go somewhere else. And then same thing, I emailed everyone there was. Like, I knew when I was in high school getting recruited to Florida, which was a top 10 program in the nation, I was like, I can do that again. So I just went down the list and I was emailing everyone. Virginia Tech got back to me. I went there. I loved it. So I ended up committing there. But after my whole college career was over, I started coaching at the college level. I came home and was coaching at Indian River. And my best friend at the time, she was the pitching coach at Boston University. And she was telling me her way of organizing recruits. So every time a kid emailed her, she wrote it on a note card and put it in one of those like note card storage things. And then when it came down to it, if they were looking for a class of 2022 pitcher, she went to her 2022, she went to her pitchers. And if there were 2 girls who literally had the same skill set, they picked the kid that contacted them more. So, and that's where the emailing and the contacting really comes into play. Like, for her and for her coaches, that was literally what it came down to. If you emailed me 3 times, but you emailed me 30 times, I want you. So the communication is huge. The social media thing, I'm really glad you guys hit on that. That's really big. Yeah, and the video. I used to make recruiting videos for baseball, softball players. If you hit and you have like a defensive position, your video should be 2.5 minutes. If you're a pitcher, you add another minute or 2 onto that video. So yeah, anything over 4 or 5 minutes, that they're gonna watch 30 seconds and then they're closing it, and that's it. So yeah, I think honestly, you guys did amazing. This presentation was so good.
Thank you.
Enjoyed making it.
Yeah, I mean, it was everything that my college coach would have said anyway. So it's good. Does anyone have any questions? Literally? Okay. Well, I did record this, so I know a couple of girls wanted to watch it. I'll post it in the ACES classroom, but I think this would, if you guys are open to it, I mean, if I emailed this to the coaches to send to their girls, or their guys, I mean, honestly, this was really, really good. So anyone that would be interested in moving on to the next level, they really should hear what you have to say.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
thank you guys. That was, oh, sorry, Vivian. That was so awesome. And I just wanted to remind everybody that it is these ladies mentioned, it's like an ups and downs and twists and turns and lots of stress and changes and being unattached, which can be challenging. So know that we support you through that process as well. Because it is kind of a roller coaster. So just know that we support that. And that was amazing. How you guys intertwined not only the logistics and specifics, but kind of the broader, life lesson-y kind of stuff as well. I appreciated that. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, and Miss John, you could send it out to wherever.
Okay. I mean, I'm not putting this thing on YouTube. I mean, who knows? Maybe it would be good. We'll do it as a fundraiser for athletics. All right. If no one has any questions, I think we're good.
All right. Thanks for letting us present, Ms. John.
Yes, thank you. This was a great idea.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Those are good.